Mahima, I want to just check whether my screen is playing or not. Just give me a minute.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Mahima, please withdraw the screen.
You can see that?
Yes.
You can see that?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Mahima, please play the video. Hi everyone, a very good afternoon. Thank you for joining. We shall start in next 2 minutes. Just waiting for a few more audience to join in. Thank you for your patience. Hi all, very good afternoon. Before I start, can someone tell me if I'm audible?
Yeah, you're audible, Ekta.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shrenik. Yeah. So, hello all, a very good afternoon. Myself, Ekta, and on behalf of the Branalytics team and our partner, Ecubix, we welcome you on a very interesting roundtable, which talks about power plant digitization for reliable operations and optimized efficiency using Industry 4.0 and 5.0 technology. So, before we start this very interesting roundtable, there are few guidelines that I would like to highlight and make you people aware of. I would request all the attendees to be on mute when our speakers are taking and discussing the panel. We shall definitely encourage a lot of Q&A post the panel discussion, and when we have a keynote session by Ecubix. There are certain guidelines that you need to follow is you need to raise your hands, unmute yourself, introduce yourself and your company, and then you can put across your question to our panel speakers. So to start with, I would first like to introduce our partner, Ecubix. It offers digitally intelligent solutions worldwide. It includes real-time monitoring and analytics, IIoT integration, edge analytics, digital logbook, and predictive analytics using AI ML. Ecubix takes the responsibility to engage with client in opportunity assessment, calculating value of improvement, building a business blueprint, delivering required hardware, software services, and support to ensure that the improvement initiative is successfully implemented. So before that, Mahima, can you please stop the screen sharing? I would like to learn one short video, the corporate video. So here I'm going to run a short video about the VCF, about the Ecubix and the solutions. Give me a moment, please.
We are Ecubix, the growth catalyst in your digital transformation journey, tuned to the pulse of the digital future. We drive innovation with the digital technology ecosystem. From a humble beginning in 2006, we have transformed Ecubix as one of the top industry 4.0 solution providers. We are now serving clients in 15 plus countries. We are a CMMI Level 3 certified company, serving 100,000 plus users with a strong team of 200 plus technocrats. So far, industry has achieved more than $350 million saving from Ecubix products and services, and the same is still counting. Our presence is in industries like cement, agrochemical, pharmaceutical, pulp and paper, minerals and metals, ports, oil and gas, power. Ecubix is organized in 4 strategic business units, each focusing on different area of an enterprise. Smart Factory to improve production process and asset performance. Smart Supply Chain for better fleet management. Smart Channel for brand protection through genealogy and serialization, and Smart Sales for field activity management. Ecubix brings global best products to solve industry problems through strategic business partnerships with world leaders like OSI Soft, now Aviva, Seek, Waterfall, Sato, Microsoft. Ecubix is your growth catalyst for digital age technologies.
So that was a corporate video about the Ecubix. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Anup Garg, Marcom head with Ecubix, to share some interesting insights about the subject. And then we move on inviting our panel. So, Mr. Anupji, over to you.
Hi, good afternoon to all. I'm speaking from the airport, and the connection is on my phone. So there may be a disturbance, so please bear with it if at all there is, right? So I'll be just sharing my screen. Give me a minute. So yeah, is it everything is visible? I think.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, it's
yes.
visible.
Okay, go ahead. So, see, basically, I'll first draw your attention to our topic, which is cost leadership, digital and digitization for reliable operation optimization efficiency using our product Ecubix DP3 MS. Now, this is a solution which is specific to power industry. So, whatever CPP captive power plants that you'll be having to handle your power output. So Hindalco will have a very big captive power plant. I can understand because they need a lot of power to manage that show. Similarly, many steel companies have a lot of quite a few CPP captive power plants, and there may be power company operators who will be there here. And this product is basically for all of them. Okay, right? So, and why it is that cost leadership? What are we talking about for power? Cost of electricity tantamounts to around 60% to 50% of all input costs in most metal extraction processes. Any control here would be able to bring down the cost of production significantly. And as India is now tapping into the international markets, if we don't gain this cost leadership, efficiency leadership in the world, very soon we will find ourselves, moving ahead. I remember Hindustan Zinc Limited used to be the biggest zinc supplier, and now they are the third biggest zinc supplier. So, South Korea more zinc, and in a little bit of better way, I know the cost. This is keeping happening, right? Similarly, if we don't control, even in overall energy operations, if we don't control cost of power, we would end up not controlling our cost at all, right? So, so now, so that was all about our topic. And where does Ecubix comes in it, right? So Ecubix is basically, as my video has already shown, Ecubix is a business consulting company. So we are actually an end-to-end operator. But why do we say business consulting? Because we are innovative, tech-driven, and forward-looking organization, especially in the area of Industry 4 application and gearing ourselves towards the Industry 5. So we provide solutions towards IoT, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and our platform provides pre-validated data and embedded formulae on which numerous database use cases can be built. So what you get is a very, very resilient and a very, very, like a calculator in your hand or a laptop in your hand, which makes many tasks very simple, much simpler than they used to be, right? And more, I mean, not only just simple, you end up creating a lot of things. Yeah. We of course have, I mean, okay, I missed that part. So we bring to you the best technologies from the world from around 5 or 6 partners, technology partners that we have. So in Microsoft, we are the gold partner. In Sato, we are one of the biggest partners of them. Waterfall Israel, we have ended up putting up the first data diode system of Waterfall for Tata Power Trombay this year. For BK Vibro, we use them for vibration analysis on the equipments, and OSI Pi, which is now Aviva as a company. That is one of the heart whose also technology we use to bring things to you. And what we bring out to you is basically efficiencies. Yes, we perform in 4 areas. So there is an area where we provide you a smart sales manager, and in another area we provide you e-smart channel where we track and trace and forecast your outputs. I mean, this concern is FMCG operators. We come to when we are saying outplant tracking. So all your supply chain needs are catered to in this area of operation. But what I'm going to talk to you today is going to be smart factory, which is basically predictive analytics, business specific applications, integration services, and data infrastructure services, all of them put together into a single platform, which is GPPMS. Some of our valuable clients, they reside in around 15 to 17 countries. Today, we are in fact catering to around 21 till the last count. Our global customers, well, we cater to BASF. Internationally, we cater to Shell, JSW, Eris Pharma, Zydus Cadila, a lot of them. You know what? This is a real, I mean, we can do one of the top shots in all areas of operations. So Tata Power, for example, in power, WBPCL, West Bengal Power Corporation, NTPC, we have been giving them a lot of, but they are of course electrical consultants. We end up giving them efficiency tools to implement that. All that experience, what we have done is we have basically converged it into this product, Ecubix DP3MS. And it works on 4 pillars. One, of course, I talked to you about Avio Pi system. Then there is another system which we put over it is Ecubix e-checklist, right? This is a product built inside a company by our company, or basically we started off with BASF, who is using it extensively in their many plants in the world. And now we are putting it forward to all of our Indian customers as well. Then Ecubix ESOP. Now this is a beautiful, paper to glass technology where all your SOPs which are put on paper, we remove that from paper and we are giving it to you or on your handheld devices, right? And last but not the least is Ecubix DRF. This is one of the most fantastic tools. So what you do is you have a data lake. Many of the people here sitting, they will say, you're talking about the old age. We have many of the things we're talking about. But okay, sorry. If you have them, do you know everything is functioning fantastically well? So there are 1 lakh tags. On a given day, 100 may not be working. 500 may not be working. From one area, some tags may just stop working. But would we really be able to appreciate it? And the data output will be wrong. And this Ecubix DRF is a basically the headmaster tool, which sits on all the tags which are working in your organization and tells you which are working and which are the not. On this solution platform, we create use cases, and these use cases are when it comes to power. I don't think there's a use case which we will miss. Plant availability factor will provide you online, will provide you startup and shutdown comparables whenever you start your plant or shut it down. AIML based optimizations are provided. Condition based maintenance. This is one of the, I would say, the best tool is condition based maintenance, because mostly whenever in any event I have gone and I ask people that what kind of maintenance you are doing, they all say they are doing mostly scheduled maintenance. Yes, there are a few guys who raise their hands on predictive maintenance, but let me tell you, बहुत primitive है अभी predictive maintenance, whatever being used. But condition-based maintenance provides straight away a discount of 8 to 10% on your cost of maintenance. This is one single factor which brings the cost down immediately, right? Then we monitor asset performance, and this again is fantastic. All kind of assets we are able to measure. Heat rate of the plant, which can be gross heat rate and net heat rate, along with the auxiliary power. So we tab all these three things together to give you a net heat rate, right? And all this is catered to by a single product DP3MS. Yeah. I talked about Pi already. I will be taking more time. This is the power industry. A few of our top customers in power industry. WBPCL, the work is already on. We say sites integrated 5. Today we are doing 18 power plants for them. When it comes to Tata Power, today any Tata Power output, be it solar, be it hydro, anything, we are now integrating together. 6 thermal plants were the first thing. Now hydropower plants are getting integrated, and then all these solar plants which they are putting up, they are also getting integrated into a single source of truth. Prayagraj PPGCL is basically handled by NTPC, and NTPC and we work together. I would say PPGCL and NTPC together have involved us, and we 2 gigabytes of power, gigawatts of power have been handled by us, and we integrated 1 thermal power plant. Any other power plant which is coming, we are the first partner who gets into integrate that. SB Energy, this is one of the biggest solar power output site. Today it is bought by Adani Power. So we are still handling that portion of Adani Power. JSW Energy, yes, for quite a lot of plants, we have handled their integrated their 9 solar plant sites. Now I come to the thick of the whole thing, right? There'll be a few questions now. So please park them. Please, I mean, you can put them on chat and we'll be able to answer you because most of the questions may take more time for me to answer. So we'll answer you and the questions and answers we send to everyone who are there on the on this platform today. So coming to what we have done in Tata Power Company, we provided them a unified PI solution for data acquisition at one centralized location. This is a humongous task, let me tell. And we did that, I think, barely 2 days earlier than the D date. And this is one of our toughest projects when we started off. There was a penalty of 2 crore rupees, and we saved. Not only that, we are today doing around 2 to 3 projects for Tata Power. When it comes to data, then we provided data at central of thermal renewables, hydro and TNT. So no use of reading what is there on the slide, but basically we provide them a standardized solution for power generators with important plant KPIs and optimized implementation time. Right. The key benefits which were provided in case of WPC is real-time data for all 5 plants. So now these 5 has converted into 18 plants, right? Again, data-oriented decision-making. And imagine this was a purely a public sector and a government kind of organization. Today, they are working virtually on complete data-oriented decision-making. We are with them. We are still working with them. We're giving them inputs, but kudos to them that there was a real big culture shift there, and they are doing it right. So monitoring, diagnostic, analysis of thermal generation, all is being done by these people on databases. These are a few use cases which we have done there. So when it came to performance calculations, we were able to provide them heat rate for turbine and boiler, heater performance, turbine loss bucket, parts required to make a power plant efficient. When we were able to, we provided them this. They told us, we did that, and today we know how to do that. Yeah. So at a glance, if I say it's a standard, we will be able to provide you standard dashboards to monitor critical assets in real-time basis. And you know what? All these dashboards are interactive. So 8 to 10 dashboards are made, but finally they work out to 200 of dashboards. And one of the why this program, we are able to deploy in 4 weeks flat. Asset templates are there, pre-built analysis is there. I'm saying once everything is clear, okay, to clear the whole show, what you people need, it may take 6 to 8 weeks prior to the implementation, but once implementation starts, it's barely 4 weeks that we are able to provide solution. And what we offer, as I kept on saying, a lot of these things, startup and shutdown procedures. I mean, if you would require more, we will be able to deliver more, but what I have written on this slide is more or less 80 to 90% of what we are giving. So if I am saying key KPIs, these are the KPIs which we found as one of the most important ones. So I have put on the slide. There are many organizations who ask us to do some different KPIs, but per se, these should do it. So all these KPIs are provided to you in real-time basis. And now, why would these companies work with us? This is the first question. So what happens in case of a single plant tripping. I know you people are, I mean, no use for me to tell you how these things work. As far as I'm, my analysis and our company analysis says, one, what happens, you will lose the capacity charges, which may be, which are levied by the government of India, or when you are able to supply electricity lower than the threshold limit decided by the government. So that you lose. You are able to, you are putting into a cost of 2 crore rupees to start up the plant, which is expensive, right? You are ending up reducing equipment life because when the plant shutdown happens, we know what kind of a domino effect happens in areas which we are not even planned for, right? The downtime, what happens in the downtime? So if the plant is not running, you end up buying power from the grid. And at a peak time, this power could be 6 to 7 times the production cost. So this is another cost. Breakdown maintenance cost is always 3 times the planned maintenance cost. Whenever there's a breakdown, we know that we end up spending 3 times the cost. So all overall, if you put around, we are able to save even one plant tripping, if we save, will completely wipe out the cost which is put forward by the plant for this to Ecubix. Yeah. So that's why we say we will be able to bring out the ROI in 1.5 years. So whatever investment is done in 1.5 years, it comes back. And from that time onwards, this ends up becoming a pool of savings for you, right? This is the project life cycle. I won't go deep into it. When we are talking one-to-one, we can really go deep. But this is one of the most important slides that I would like to show. The overall performance management system, which was for management team, we give these 4 things. For engineering team, these all things, feed water cycle, mid parameters. I mean, it is a laundry list. I agree, but this is all we are able to offer. Operational people get these kind of so what happens? You end up creating a data lake, which is basically democratizing the whole data issue in the plant. So, many, I would say 10, 15 years earlier, only the top management was having the data. They never gave it to operators because operators never were actually appreciating it. Today, these kind of systems, especially when DP3 MS we implement in any organization, Ecubix makes sure that it is the operator who has the biggest benefit, and that's how the key efficiencies travel back to you as an organization. I would just show you a few dashboards to give you some analysis. So generation overview, plant overview. These are all pre-made dashboards. Yes, you will be able to, but you know what? We also are able to give you good perspectives with the data. So all these dashboards would end up bringing a good perspective also with the data. So I think more or less, this is one of the daily operation reports that you made. We got, I mean, they were very happy when we provided it to JSW. These kind of, again, this is one of the things that I would like to show you. So thank you very much. That is all I wanted to say. Over to Ekta.
Yeah, thank you, Anupji, for sharing interesting insights. So I have mentioned on the chat box, everyone, that any questions you can put on the chat box, or you can ask it during our panel or post our panel discussion. So now moving to the very interesting part of the session, which is the roundtable discussion, where we're talking about the digitalization about the power plant for the reliable operations. So we have few points that will be covered by our speakers today. I would just like to highlight those points. The points are like the role of asset performance management in power generation efficiency. How does predictive maintenance work in increasing key assets efficiency? The role of digitization in power generation reliability and its efficiency. How data integration is transforming the entire power sector, and some real-time big data integration solutions and their benefits. And I'm happy to introduce our wonderful set of speakers. We have Ms. Nilima Sharma, Chief Digital Officer with ESL Steel Limited, Mr. Adarsh, Assistant Vice President with Hindalco Industries Limited, Mr. Sanjeev Prasad, VP Head Power with Reliance Industries, Mr. Omar Victor Miranda, Head of Technology, Digital Center of Excellence with JSW Steel Limited, Mr. Arpan Chaya, Group Head, ESCO Business, Tata Power Trading Company Limited. And of course, we have Mr. Anup Garg, Morcom Head from Ecubix joining us. So thank you, first of all the speakers join today. And so now first, I would like to start with Ms. Nilima. Ms. Nilima, thank you for joining. And what are your insights on the subject?
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And see, my insight around this is like now digital should be a way of life. And it should not be only restricted to power. However, it is actually applicable in each and every area. Now, going towards this, things should not be only restricted to 4.0. Rather, we should think of 5.0 now, because we have to be very much collaborative, working with technology. On top of it, when we are working with technology, we should also take the call, which is sustainable in future. So gone are those days when we were working, with slight POC and all. We should look forward for the solution which are scalable. Now, coming to PowerPoint, I'll just first put my thoughts around predictive maintenance, which is very, very common to be done, and it is actually giving a lot of values. So talking about predictive maintenance, of course, there are multiple sensors available nowadays, and they have really came out well. There were certain hiccups earlier wherein, networking and other part was a part of it. Now we have wireless sensors as well, which we can put up there and get multiple CBM related information, right? Having said that, that gives us also insight in terms of how my things are performing, and also predicting certain things, how I'm expecting them to perform in future, where we are expecting certain downtime in future, or many other things around the asset life cycle as well. So specifically, boiler tube leakage is something which is very, very common across multiple power plant. And really, let me share you one use case wherein we have worked upon, specifically in one of Vedanta unit. And we have achieved 40% of, a reduction in terms of downtime. And straight away also a gain of 7 to 8% in terms of, heat rate and other part of it. So this is how multiple initiative in terms of digital is helping us around, and there is a lot to see which will ultimately end up helping us out, improving the reliability as well as efficiency altogether for a power plant. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Nilima. So moving on to the another speaker, I would like to invite Mr. Arpan's thought on this. Mr. Arpan, please share some insights on this.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to say Mr. Anup has covered almost all the points very nicely in presentation. So what I can add is how you can select what digital platform you should go for. What is the potential for digitalization of power plant? How you can improve operational efficiency? How reliability can be increased by using these technologies? Definitely, Tata Power has implemented all these points, and we have achieved fantastic results, and we have increased our reliability, we have increased our operational efficiency by using this type of technology. So I will say digital is a new normal, and digital means you should prepare a digital strategy roadmap or a framework in a phase means in a phase manner you should implement. Definitely you cannot implement or you cannot digitalize your plant 100%, but you can do it area wise. Definitely it will be a top driven approach, and that is the point of successful implementation of your digitalization plan. Your digital platform must be scalable. It must be future ready, adaptable, and security is a must. You should go for secure platform because security is a new requirement of your plant. Means I have seen that many of plant will don't go for cloud-based solution. They require a plant-based solution or because of some security data. Means I will say Mr. Anu can elaborate on that. They must find difficulty in convincing plant to go for cloud-based technology because it's quite difficult nowadays. But I will say cloud-based technology will help you a lot in managing the data and at a single point, and it will help you to improvise your benchmarking process and all that. One point I will touch upon that digitalization needs to be transformed by using APM from descriptive analysis to prescriptive analysis. So nowadays, maybe we are talking about predictive, but we should move from predictive to prescriptive analysis. So prescriptive analytics recommends action you can take to affect those outcomes, and digital twin will help you a lot in this prescriptive analytics. While you are implementing this digitalization, I will recommend that all departments should be engaged in this activity because if you will involve only some of the people or some of the department, then definitely you will not succeed in implementing this. Even whatever technology you will implement, you have to take all the employees or together, otherwise it will be not a success in you will not get success. And after implementing all this technology, you should give a training to all the employees of your organization, because if one or two employees are getting the training, and if all the employees are not using this technology, because it's a quite expensive technology, I will say, and if we are not taking the benefit, then ROI will not come, because and then we will blame the technology that we are not getting the proper ROI. So I will recommend each and every employee engagement is required in implementing this technology. I will just take one example which we have implemented in our plant. Means already shown by Mr. Anup that we have also done. We have generated our O&M report, like generation, auxiliary power consumption, and heat rate report automatically without human intervention. We are not entering a single data manually, and automatically report will be generated. Nobody will go and take the readings at 12 o'clock, and you will calculate your heat rate, you will calculate your auxiliary power consumption. Nobody will do this. All the things will come automatically, and engineer will give time in analyzing these documents and not in gathering the data and presenting the data. So what we have done is we have compared our one plant data for same PLF to historical data, and report will automatically tell you what is the area of improvement in terms of heat rate or in terms of auxiliary power consumption. Then definitely we have drilled down to this, to the equipment identification, which because of which equipment we are losing auxiliary power consumption, or because of which parameter we are losing heat rate, or we have quantify that in terms of rupees, so that everybody can understand the importance of improving these parameters. And what we have done is we have also compared this parameter with different plants of same capacity for same plant load factor PLF, so that we will not restrict ourselves to one plant, and we will open up the areas to means what different plants are doing, why they are better than us. So we need to open up ourselves, and even I think different company can collaborate and share their data, how they are doing their based. So there is no need to visit the other plants, or you will get the directly data if you are mutually agreeing on this. Benchmarking will be means new area of improvement, because we restrict ourselves by means अभी तो नहीं हो पाएगा, इससे better is not possible, but world is doing better than us, then definitely we should improvise. And after improvement, sustainability is the most important thing. Means your AI and ML technology will help you to identify gap, and it will tell you on the spot, means you are deviating from the parameter by 0.1 0.5 percentage, and it will indicate you, and it is not necessarily that you will deviate by a much more percentage, and it will be a delayed one. So it will help you a lot. And the last point is actually in India, means I have visited many plants in India. So like Tata Power, and means when Anup, Mr. Anup has told many plants that are implementing, but I have seen many captive power plants are still not digitalized, and it's a very big market for means digitalization. The other thing is renewables are coming in a big way. Means other than thermal and hydro, actually solar and wind is coming. So thermal power plant need to be competitive in the market. Otherwise, the sustainability will be a big means hurdle in future. So without implementing these technologies, we will be not able to means survive competitively in the market. So that's my point. Maybe I have taken longer time. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Arpan ji, very nicely put most of the point. There are दो तीन बातें I would like to just impinge upon. One was you said democratization of data, you know. I think that is the key factor, and where we learned it. No, I'll tell you a very small story. This happened in ITC. One of our third or fourth client, and ITC was one of our toughest clients. Okay, and the guy, they said the top management, मेरा operator जिस दिन बोलेगा कि इनको पैसा दे दो, तो मैं दूंगा, वरना नहीं दूं. Now we were young, absolutely right. I mean, I would say सामने शर्ट थी, पीछे बनियान थी. I mean, पीछे का कपड़ा भी नहीं था. Okay, we were really, you know, very. And at that time when he said that, I remember the sweat coming out. That यार ये कैसे होगा? Operator, though he doesn't want me here. But they will. The moment we come in, they will look at us like, you know, ये आ गए हमारी नौकरी खाने के लिए. ये हमको बर्बाद कर देंगे. You know, that kind. And I'm talking to you in 2008 area, 2009 or 10. At that time, 18, sorry, 18, 19. Even at that time and today, the change is tremendous. Huh? Today, the same guys, I'm not saying in ITC, even in your organization, anyway, learning curve has really come in. So that has helped us. Whatever is happening to social media, वो पता नहीं कितनी गलत बातें उनको सिखाता है, I don't know. ये चीज they are learning कि भाई it's a good thing. IT is a good thing. Let us learn it. You know. So there and that's where we started implementing. And today, you know, which that slide which I didn't show you, I didn't have time enough to show you that thing, implementation plan. Ecubix ka implementation plan, no, it's one of our branding part. We go and talk to this operator. We sit with him. We and our guys, they are tearing their hair when they come back to their rooms. No, they say, "अरे यार वो क्या बातें बोल रहा है, कैसे कहे वो ऐसा बोलता है." And then our team guys, they sit and we create some kind of I would say a medium in between them. But ultimately, even my MD says that when he visits the plant, he will go and talk to the operator. He says, if operator is fine, I will consider you people have done the job. ठीक है, money मिल जाएगा. But long run में any, as you rightly say, profits will not come. A car will never drive well on petrol if the driver is bad.
Right.
आप Mercedes ले लीजिए, आप अपनी मारुति 800 ले लीजिए, कोई भी car, if the driver is bad, you know what happens. So in our houses, if wife drives better, you say, "अरे यार तू चला दे, petrol कम खर्च होगा," right? And we know कि ये अच्छा चलाती है, I am bad, right? So same thing is happening. So very important points, Sarpanch. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
we have to empower our drivers, and it can be done
Ultimately,
by
yeah.
implementing these technologies.
Yeah. And second is how you can do it. You were saying, we just bring, I would say, a South Indian talking in Tamil. We just make him talk in Urdu, and this guy who is sitting in front, he is just seeing Urdu. Uske baad, we can't do it.
Yeah.
He writes a poetry out of it, or he throws it out a window. So the good thing is now public sector organizations where we are going, even they are, keen to implement it. That gives us a lot of this thing. And last point which you said is of the CPP. It's really a tough thing when I'm trying to sell CPP power efficiency and they say, "अरे यार वो हमारा important काम नहीं है. अरे वो चल रहा है यार. हमको जितना चाहिए चल रहा है. मेरा मैनेजमेंट नहीं बोल रहा बचाओ तो तुम क्यों आके बोल रहे हो यार? तो तुम मेरा प्लांट में अंदर आके बात करो, So we go for CPP, we end up doing something else, but we keep looking at CPP. यार देखो waste कितना हो रहा है. Yeah.
Actually, situation is very bad, and if we
Yeah.
say measurement, analyze, optimize, and sustain, but even we are not doing measurement, so we cannot optimize. So we have to start with measurement. In that
25,000 CPP
perspective.
plants है, 100 megawatt के, 25,000 CPP plants on an average 100 megawatt power. Just imagine.
It's a
What
very big
power
amount.
is going waste. But we are
Thank
trying
you
our
so
best.
much.
We have done quite a lot of work.
Thank you, Mr. Arpan, for sharing insights. Can I invite the thoughts of Mr. Adarsh now? Mr. Adarsh, what are your thoughts?
So first of all, thank you to the team for giving the opportunity to share the thought on top and digitization. As we all know that Industry 4.2 is based on the four main factors. One is connectivity, automation, artificial intelligence, and real-time data. For the manufacturing industry and the captive power plant like us, it also adds values in key of our areas like operations, maintenance, energy efficiency, health, safety, security, and environment also. So I have gone through one of the articles few years back wherein, as per the IA report, in the power sector, the digitalized process optimization can lead to a 5% increase in the electricity output per unit of fuel input for all subcritical and supercritical coal-fired power plants. And I think for gas power plant, it will be slightly lower, but for the coal-based power plant, we can optimize our output by increase by output by 5% or more. Further, it also reduced my overall O&M cost by 5%, and it also proven to be a reliable means for the real-time analysis optimization. As per my view, there will be the 7 major area which is impacting right now and will further add values in the performance of power plant in future. One will be the predictive maintenance, which one of the speaker has talked about, wherein we are using more number of sensors and predictive analytics to monitor the performance of equipment and predict the potential issues before they occur. Second will be the smart grid integration, because as we know that more number of renewable energy is coming up and the government is planning to establish in tunes of gigawatts by 2030. So those integration and using of those advanced control system to manage the flow of electricity to improve the reliability and reduce the cost will be a major challenge. Third is something which Ecubix is right now driving, the energy management system, which is something very great. Fourth is the digital twins. As the new generation are coming up, we need to create a virtual models of the power plants and equipment to simulate operations and test new technologies and approaches in a controlled environment so that they can learn in a very better manner, coming out from the traditional mindset. The fifth will be like the remote controlling, monitoring and the controls. Sixth will be the asset management, like how we're tracking the performance of power plant asset. The job of the power plant engineer is to bring back the equipment to its basic equipment condition. So without, uh, I mean, taking all those data, it will be very difficult to manage the asset. 7 will be for the cyber security. Basically, it will be a threat for the independent power plants as compared with the captive power plants. So at Hindalco, we are using the technology and data to improve the efficiency, reliability, and sustainability of power generation operations. We have incorporated virtual reality and augmented reality to train our operators and technicians. We have also used the blockchain to track the supply chain of fuel for the power plants. In last 2 years, particularly at Hindalco Mahan, where I'm working right now, we have achieved significant growth in adopting new digital technologies from raw material handling to the operation, maintenance, even HR and ER services. And we are also trying to maximize the paperless culture through digitization initiatives. Some of the key projects which I would like to quote is we are using coal supply chain tracking system by enabling those barcode method, and the technological vehicle tracking and performance monitoring we are doing on real-time basis for the heavy equipment machineries which we're using in our coal handling plant. We have also incorporated the coordinated master control where with a single command the entire startup can be done for the power plant. We have also incorporated the online plant KPI dashboard with all major KPIs, key performance indicators, like as one of the gentlemen was showing, Mr. Anup was showing in his presentation, showing the plant heat rate, SOD power consumptions, specific raw water consumption. So those all key performance indicators are coming up in a single dashboard. And through our in-house team, we have developed the QR codes where we are getting the instant availability of the SOPs, drawing, SMP. When people don't need to go and sit in a library and see the drawings, they can scan through their smartphones and they can reach out to those SOPs and drawings. Apart from that, we have also incorporated some of the condition-based monitoring for the remote located equipment, like some of the gearboxes which are lying in a cooling tower area, something around 1 kilometer away from here. So those we have started monitoring from that. And in coming to the safety front, we have included virtual reality for the height work and the confined space work. We have started giving training to those persons before allowing them to work inside the plant. And for confined space is something which is very critical in nature. So we started doing online monitoring of gas and the occupants which are going inside the confined space area. Recently, we have incorporated the automated breaker rack in and rack out system, wherein to avoid the manual intervention and to eliminate the electrical hazard. And recently, just now last month only, we have completed a remote monitoring of ASDIC equipment, which is something something of 5 kilometers away from here, and laying the entire cable and all, it will be a very costly affair. So we started doing through the cloud-based monitoring system. So that is something which is very new to us, and people are very excited to implement this. And I think it's just the beginning of new era of digitization in power plant, and we'll be happy to work along with the Ecubix and the other associate partner to add more value addition in the system. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Adarsh. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Omar to please share some thoughts on this.
Thanks, team. I think so. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
I'm okay. Thanks, team, for this opportunity. Most of my colleagues have already given their thoughts on how predictive maintenance and digitization can bring about a change and operational efficiency. I would like to really touch upon one aspect of digitization is how we are going to enable the end users to use this technology. What kind of training and upskilling that will be required to the end users. So at JSW, we have started to train them in business analysis. We believe that each person is a business analyst and they do some kind of analysis at their end to improve upon the operations and efficiency of their day-to-day activities. And how do you enable them to do more in-depth analysis? What are the tools and enablers that you give to them? So that is where we have started this training uh, process. Uh, Other than that, how AI ML can help in their day-to-day activities. That is where we have taken other training and upskilling process where we enable or we call them the citizen data scientists, and we enable them with enough training to understand, okay, this problem can be solved using AI ML or data science for that matter, which will then come to the core group has a business case, and then the core group will start working on resolving that issue using AI and ML technologies. So upskilling is a very important factor when it comes to digitization. I mean, the end user should be skilled enough to use the technology and to adopt and embrace that technology. That's my point of view. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Omer. Now we have Mr. Sanjeev Prasad from Reliance. Mr. Sanjeev, over to you if you can share some thoughts. Subject. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thanks for giving me an opportunity. Sorry, I am at a remote place, so video may get disconnected.
Absolutely okay, no worries.
Okay, we'll continue. Yes. So my thoughts on digitization is like what I have been seeing. Digitization, yes, as all speakers have told, is good for any power plant whatsoever. But digitization is good to use only when you have got very good measurements. A while ago, Mr. Anup was talking of captive power plants. The captive power plants are like, say they are, if you look at their boilers and all, they don't have enough number of instruments there. So what will you monitor and what would you like to give out of that data? That becomes really difficult. So if you don't measure, you cannot control something which you cannot measure. So that's a big problem as far as captive power industry is concerned. Wherever the captive power exists, the main business is not power generation. Wherever there are IPPs, the main business happens to be power generation. So instrumentation is good. There you are able to deliver results. Other places, instrumentation are not good. Now, when you come up with a power plant, you find as many things which are left out in terms of design. Design does not cover up many things. So there is a measurement at one place and it is considered that it is good for almost a kilometer of a pipeline. You measure at one, you do not know how much of condensation is taking place in your header. If you talk of a utility, say in IPP, the headers may be small and headers may be limited. Here the header lengths may be in kilometers, whereby the losses may be too high and you never even realize. Even small things like your spray water valves passing in your PRDS. See, ideally there should not be any PRDS, but yes, there is a pressure reduction arrangement that is there in most of the process plants if you get into. And there, malfunctioning of these control valves, which is spray water, that goes undetected. That is something which is a typical problem that you may see at most of the places. So such data, if we are unable to collect, so that is something where we need to drive the entire thing to. Digitization needs to be driven in terms of you will be able to control better. You will be able to get good efficiencies. Most of, again, I'll get back to captive, whereby reporting itself is not that accurate. Measurements are not accurate. Measurements are primitive sort of. And based on that, if you try to control, we came across, I'm not talking of Ecubix, we came across some agency which came to us through the higher management telling that they had achieved some 3% efficiency improvement in some XYZ plant. On checking, those people did not have any data. Some fudged data was put up to start with. And again, perhaps to please the management, the other side had put it, okay, this is the improvement that we have achieved. So unless and until you have got good measurements, you will not be able to do it. Second one is, quite often when we talk of data management or when we talk of use of data for reliability improvement, we leave out a lot of data collection in terms of offline data that is available with the maintenance. It may not be from the measuring instruments, you may need to input them. Those data, although may be available, but they are not integrated with the system. Once integrated with the system, like your shutdown records, like your shutdown reports, like your images, once it is integrated, you will be in a better position to tell as to what is happening. Because without measuring also, if that data is available, yes, you can say. And plus, equally important will be the history that is there for the plant, whatever is the past history. If somebody say puts up some 10 instruments today, it will not help him if the boiler is already deteriorated, if the turbine is already deteriorated, those new instruments will not be of as much of use. And the kind of maintenance practices that are adopted, they are also important enough. Out of the data, you find out that some turbine rotor needs refurbishment. But the management does not agree to a refurbishment. They tell you, okay, this refurbishment, tell us as to how much money will it make. So these are practical problems that exist, that needs to be encountered or that needs to be faced while you take up sort of data analytics for the purpose of improvement of efficiency and all. And every time you talk to somebody, again restricting myself to captive power plant, people are almost not interested in anything. If my plant is good to go till the time I am able to supply steam and power, my plant can afford 10 trips a year. Why are you worried? So that's the way people go. So 10 trips, if you tell them out of the 10 trips, there will be thermal shocks and your plant will get damaged. No worries. Let the plant go off in 15 years. We have not spent as much. By that time, the payback will be there. So that sort of a mentality needs a huge change so that we can get into a complete digitized world whereby power plant can be called digitized. And one aspect that was talked of a while ago was benchmarking. That is something unlike other industries, there is not enough benchmarking data available with which you can compare apple to apple. Because every plant that has been made specific in captive sector is more or less tailor-made and nobody is ready to share the data that they have. So you can hardly compare that what is the position that you need to reach, what is the number that you want to achieve, unless and until you know the target, how will you achieve the target? So that is something which is very important. So my take is unless and until we encourage more data collection and improve data collection methods, data management or data analytics will not be of as much of help. It may be of some immediate help, but it will not be of a continued or a sustained help that was being talked of. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjeev. So now we had insights from everyone coming. So any thoughts or last thoughts speakers would like to add to the subject? Anupji, your thoughts on the same? Or audience, any questions or any insights to be highlighted that we have missed and we should cover, or something that you want to talk about?
Hi, Ekta, this is Alok Mukherjee. Just a check back, can you hear me before I proceed?
Yes, sir. I can. So let me bring you the spotlight. If you can on your video, I'll add you to the spotlight. And
Yeah. Is my video visible to us?
yes, please share some thoughts. Thank you.
Okay. So, first of all, it was a very interesting discussion. We got insight from some very aspirational statements, right up to very practical suggestions coming, and especially the difficulties. And as someone who has dealt with this sector for so many years, and especially in power plant. So I can speak from the user perspective. So, the thing is, as I had been discussing with some of my colleagues, that there is basically not very much of difference between a captive power plant and an IPP. Basically, they are the same things. It's only that how the treatment is being done. And of course, typically CPPs are of smaller size, and as some speakers have said, that they only partially contribute to the input costs. So their focus is, on reduction of the input costs. It's not a profit center by itself. So to that extent, there is, less focus as far as the business is concerned. But things are changing. For instance, in the power sector, now the concept is coming of producer and consumer. With the advent of renewable energy, especially, and battery storage, now the concept is coming that, a consumer can become a producer at some point of time. And this is also very important, when we have different tariffs. Right now we have tariffs based on the frequency, which we all are aware of, DCM and DSM. But gradually we are entering into a phase when, there will be different tariffs for different demand conditions. And at that time, the if you have that spinning reserve or the capability to deliver to the grid over and above your own requirements, so that will come in very handy. So that is all the more reason, why we should be treating captive power plants as a power plant, not focusing so much on the fact that it's a captive power plant, but it's a power plant which is capable of producing electricity and delivering electricity whenever it is required. Number one. Number two is that, we are all concerned about climate change. There is so much of renewable energy and everything is coming because of, concerns over the climate. Now, as it has been discussed during this panel discussion, that one of the big, advantages of digitalization is that you improve upon the heat rate. And the direct consequence of improvement of heat rate is that you burn less coal to generate the same amount of electricity. So imagine when you are thinking about a country like India, if you are improving heat rate of all power stations through some digital intervention, how much you are contributing to the climate change cause. That is something sometimes people do not appreciate that much. So, that is another reason why there should be more and more digital intervention. And also, last but not the least, one point I would like to make. Now, the renewable energy penetration is something we have to live with. And especially all, traditional power plants, be it coal-based or gas-based, they will be facing this problem of flexibilization, flexible operation of power plant. So that will result in huge challenges for the operation of the power plant. It will lead to, stress of the power plant. It will lead to, losses when we are ramping up or ramping down the power plant. It will lead to problems of excursions of parameters. So the extent of the problem can all be determined if we have good measuring system and, a system like, digital intervention over and above the control system which we are having. That is going to play a big role in, mitigating some of the problems. So these were my thoughts. Now I hand you over to Ekta for further, conversation.
Thank you so much, sir.
Mr. Yeah. Anuj,
So
please
what we
take it
have
from
is a
here.
technologist. Yeah, what we have here was the real technologist.
Okay.
So I apologize because that's where sometimes Alok sir really scores. Uh, uh,
Yeah,
so Okay, just a moment. Yeah. I'm sorry, I have to now move on to my mobile because somehow there's something wrong here. The chargers are not working. Now I also want to talk about a bit. There's a little bit of time if available. I was wanted to talk about where what one thing जो निलिमा जी ने बहुत share किया था. Our first जिन्होंने बताया बोला था. And she talked about Industry 5. How many of us actually think that Industry 5 is there and it is required for our industry?
Maybe as I said, opportunity to speak around this. So
Yes,
industry
ma'am. Yeah.
4.0, it is very simple, you know, digital is a buzzword. थोड़ा सा simplify करेंगे तो it is very, very easy to understand. 5.0 is nothing different. What is there is like talking about sustainable action which we are taking, talking about working in collaboration. Even if you think of these two things, it is what is called as Industry 5.0. Digital twin, many of the speakers have talked about, even that is something which is being done today as well. So 4.0, 5.0, almost collaborating together. Having said that, having digital twin who are giving operators an insight how to operate and which is going to be
Exactly.
the right option to be picked up to run the process. This is how, you know, system and people working together in a collaborative manner to improve the efficiency. So that is what is 5.0 and it is already existing. We are doing it. On top of it, if I really speak about chat gpt, everyone is talking about generative AI, everyone is talking about, and people are using it even for making small presentation. It is there. Few people who are having, you know, privilege access, having certain co-pilots, maybe many of you are knowing about it. So if you will, you are really going to use those co-pilots, it is making our life much easier. Of course, within a click, presentations are ready. Within a click, you are going to change the context. Within a click, there are multiple things which you need to rewrite. Being in any operation, be it power plant or anywhere, if I'm really going to ask an operation maintenance person to prepare a PPT, which really they do many a times, they will not like it, and that is not their portfolio, right? So AI is something which is coming up, and that is going to do your job much easier way and within seconds. So that is what again is a collaborative thing, which is a part of industry 5.0. So this was small example just to say that maybe people are not aware, but we all are living with industry 5.0 already. And we have to opt for
Right.
seeing how we can more take privilege around, you know. Basically, digital twin is going to be a game changer. And we need to see how actually it is going to be not only a buzzword, rather than a reality, which is going to set an example how robotics, AI, ML together is going to give a shape, achieving our major KPIs, wherein we are also taking care of safety aspect, because you might be knowing there are multiple cameras which were already there. We connected those cameras, creating one more step ahead, integration done. Now again 4.0, we started building the model on top of it. Now it is giving me certain insight, okay, where I'm going wrong, where I'm going right, which RPPs are not being wear by the people, maybe what is the hazard which is coming up, right? Now that is also giving certain insight, giving a PS system, you know, saying then and there itself, please stop it, this is going wrong. So this is what is a collaborative approach where technology is taking hand with human being, and we are moving towards industry 5.0. Yeah.
Actually, I also wanted to bring out our contribution to Industry 5.0, Ecubix. So, you know what? I talked about the e-checklist. I talked about e-SOP. They were all built on this aspect of, making life easy for the humans for whom the actually civilization was made. अभी क्या हो गया है, लाइफ बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स बना दिया, राइट? Slowly we are too busy. Our daughters are gaining in height, they're turning beautiful, getting married, going away, and we realize, अरे यार क्या यार मैं कमाता रह गया, and suddenly my kids are, and how sad this statement is, So even I have two daughters. They are growing up the same way, and yet I feel, अरे यार और time देना है, but I can't give, you know. Why? Because हमने सारा civilization efficiency and earn more, efficiency and earn more, you know, उस पे डाल दिया है और उसका कोई मीनिंग नहीं है. धीरे धीरे करके इट इज बिकमिंग मीनिंगलेस, राइट? जस्ट अ फिगर, यू नो, जैसे एक बैंक में एक फिगर होती है, बस है, ठीक है, हमें बहुत सपोर्ट मिल रहा है, दैट्स इट. कार है तो बहुत सारी टैक्सीज अवेलेबल है. व्हाई डू वी नीड अ कार? यू नो, मेनी थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग, द टेक्नोलॉजी इज चेंजिंग थिंग्स. And similarly, what Ecubix have done is we really thought deeply about it. And our implementation approach is Industry 5. Our work approach is Industry 5. We are only talking about humanity. We go there and try to make systems simpler. So I'll give one very small example. I don't want to take more time. In ONGC, we were giving around, there were around 200 dashboards. We converted all of them into 8 main ones and 4 more supplementary ones. Now these all full management of ONGC just looks at those 12 dashboards. They talk one language. वरना वो इतना confusion बन गया था, 200 dashboards. अरे नहीं, वहां तो ये दिखा रहा है, अरे वहां ये डेटा दिखा रहा है, देखो हम ये देख रहे हैं, all those things. So yes, नीलिमा, it was very important point. And उस वक्त मैंने उसको रेज इसलिए नहीं किया because इंडस्ट्री 5 नहीं होगा ना, तो इंडस्ट्री 4 का कोई मीनिंग नहीं है. The industry 4 will fail actually if industry 5 is not merged with it well, as you are rightly saying. So new technologies are coming in. Data twin is coming in. Appetite for technology in India is still abhi grow kar rahi hai. So let's hope it grows as fast as possible to really give benefit to all of us. Yeah, thank you very much to bring out that point. Over to Ekta now.
Yeah, at last, just I want to add one point.
Yes, please.
Whatever
Please.
technology will come, nothing can be top than human intelligence. Human intelligence will be at top, and humans are using this AI and ML, and they are making them more and more stronger for betterment of our human life, as Anup has said. So there is no need to worry about AI and ML is coming, but human intelligence will be at top. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Anupji. I think we had lovely insights coming in from everyone. So on that note, yeah. Anything else? Any pointers, Anupji, remaining from your end or the speakers?
No, ma'am. I only think that we can come a few speakers के साथ तो one-on-one करने में काफी new insights will get developed. I think so. But yeah, thank you.
Sure, no worries. So on that note, again, I would like to thank our speakers, Ms. Nalima, Mr. Adarsh, Mr. Sanjeev, Mr. Omar, Mr. Arpan, and Mr. Anup for being here, sharing interesting insights on the subject, not missing our audience. Thank you so much for your time and being here throughout the session. We shall be sharing the entire video session with you. And as mentioned by Mr. Anup, we shall be reconnecting with you for one-on-one interesting brainstorm sessions with Ecubix team, with all the speakers and also with our audience. So on that note, thank you so much, everyone. Take care of yourself. Yes, Mr.
One
Anu,
more
please.
thank. One more thank was to Mr. Alok Mukherjee.
Yes,
who-
Mr. Alok Mukherjee. Yeah.
In that small time, he created a wonderful insights. Thank you, Alok.
Of course. So thank you, Mr. Alok, of course, for making that interesting insights coming out from your end. And once again, thank you so much, all the audience and speakers for being here. I shall be sharing the entire thing with you tomorrow. And on that note, take care of yourself and stay safe. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, team.
Thank you very much for gracing the occasion, sir. Making the program very live. Thank you.
Thank you.